Yes, it's fine. Thanks.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Foteini Tsereli, and here is the co-writer, Zoe Zacharaki.
Good morning from me too.
We're going to present you our collaborative work with the title STEM Education in Early Childhood, Overcoming Challenges and Embracing Opportunities in the Classroom. First, let us introduce ourselves. This paper delves into the outcomes derived from implementing the SEGA framework in 2 kindergarten classrooms in Greece. The project's core involved integrating 3 hours of STEAM lesson plans weekly as part of Anatolia Elementary after-school program. To further introduce our framework, SEGA, which stands for Shaping STEAM Education for Young Children Through Gaming, is an innovative project about STEAM education co-founded by the Erasmus Plus program. Throughout 2022 to 2025, a group of higher education institutions, schools, and businesses are developing a methodology to assist educators and teachers in engaging young children in STEAM activities and developing 21st century skills. SEGA aims to support early childhood educators in the implementation of STEAM activities in the classroom through a gamified approach in order to improve students' 21st century skills. STEAM is the acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. The purpose of STEAM education is to develop a STEM literate society. Our goals is to identify questions and problems in real-life situations, explain the natural and design world, draw evidence-based conclusions about STEM-related issues. Quality STEM education experiences have an impact on the improvement of children's 21st century skills. 21st century skills framework includes 3 categories: domain general skills, including problem solving and critical thinking. The second one is soft skills, which includes creativity, collaboration, and communication. And last but not least, STEM specific skills, which include logical mathematical skills and engineering design skills. Why should STEAM activities be part of early childhood education? ESSE plays a critical role in shaping a child's development. Early years have a strong influence on many of the skills that children are going to develop and learn in later life. Research has shown that investing in ESSE in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics yields the best results in 21st century skills. STEM education can be an appropriate component of ESSE as children can explore the real world surrounding them through playful STEM challenges. Taking everything into account, the suggesting framework includes the following elements and competencies. First is 21st century skills, engineering design, problem solving, real-life problems, logical mathematical skills, and spatial skills. Here you can see a descriptive map of the skills that we give emphasis through SEGA. Our central project revolved around guiding students in constructing houses. Throughout the journey, students immerse themselves in exploring diverse housing types, experimenting with various materials, and creating functional structures like furniture. They also gained insights into the functional layout of energy and water supply networks. As we embark on our house construction project, let's take a closer look at the skills and activities involved. We have selected a collection of indicative activities grouped according to the skills they foster, aligning with the SEGA framework. In fostering critical thinking, one effective activity involves helping children distinguish everyday objects based on their functionality and power source. For instance, participants learn to differentiate between electrical appliances and those that operate without electricity. Through engaging discussions and interactive demonstrations, Children also identify battery-powered devices versus those reliant on a plug. This exercise encourages analytical thinking and empowers children to understand the mechanics behind common household items. Another intriguing activity involves guiding children to count the number of switches, power sockets, and taps in various rooms. Through discussion, participants explore the reasons behind the differing numbers of these fixtures in each room. This activity prompts children to analyze spatial design, functionality, and the unique characteristics of different living spaces. To encourage creativity, one activity involved guiding children in the construction of various types of houses, such as tipis, pagodas, and igloos, using materials found in their everyday surroundings. Through this hands-on experience, participants explored different architectural styles and cultural influences, while exercising their imagination. They also had the chance to experiment with shapes, textures, and structures to build unique dwellings. Another activity aimed at fostering creativity involves constructing miniature houses while exploring furniture design in both 2-dimension and 3-dimension formats. Participants are encouraged to incorporate additional elements to enrich their creations. Through this interactive process, children explore spatial arrangement, design fundamentals, and the practical aspects of interior decor. A significant project we undertook involved the construction of a tipi using human-sized materials. We began by prioritizing basic stability, ensuring that the structure can support itself. Next, we collaboratively added additional pieces of wood to enhance stability. Finally, we encased the structure with a seat, completing the tipi. Throughout this process, the emphasis was placed on fostering collaboration among participants. By working together to address challenges, share ideas, and execute tasks, children were introduced to the value of teamwork and cooperation. This project not only resulted in the creation of a structure, but also cultivated essential interpersonal skills that are vital for success in various aspects of life. To facilitate communication skills, we hosted an engineer at our school, inviting children to ask questions they have accumulated during our activities centered around building houses, electricity, and water provisions. This interaction served as a platform for children to engage with a professional, allowing them to articulate their queries, seek clarification, and deepen their understanding of the topics explored. Throughout all our activities, participants worked collaboratively as a team, embodying the principle that the first individual to grasp a task took on the responsibility of explaining it to the others. This approach not only underscores the importance of effective communication, but also empowers individuals to articulate concepts, share knowledge, and support one another in their learning journey. Now we're going to see some activities about engineering design. In our effort to cultivate engineering design skills, we introduce children to the realm of circuits through a comprehensive project. Beginning with a simulation, participants explore circuitry concepts in a virtual environment, experimenting with various configuration components. As a second stage, they translated their digital designs of the circuits they created during the simulation into drawings. Finally, participants transitioned to hands-on experimentation with lab materials, where they constructed basic circuits. This progressive approach mirrors elements of the engineering design circle, guiding children through conceptualization, planning, implementation, and iteration. This project represents one of our most significant attempts, empowering children to engage deeply with engineering principles. Let's see some activities about problem solving. Another engaging activity focused on problem solving included discussion and drawing sessions around the design of electricity and water supply networks, as well as the distribution of these resources to individual households. Through dialogue and visual representation, children explored the challenges and solutions involved in ensuring access to electricity and water. Continuing with our problem-solving focus, another activity challenged students to measure the length and width of each room on a maquette. This hands-on exploration extended their problem-solving skills by applying mathematical concepts in a practical setting. Now, let's see some activities about logical, mathematical, and spatial skills. To nurture these skills, we engage in two distinct activities. The first involved various graphing exercises, utilizing Legos and other game-based materials. Through these activities, participants explored mathematical concepts while enhancing their spatial reasoning abilities. The second activity, as previously mentioned, centered on measuring the length and width of each room on maquettes. Our house construction projects underscores the power of STEM education at the early childhood level, where students engage in hands-on exploration of housing types and material experimentation, fostering practical insights into real-world construction practices. Through an immersive exploration of STEM principles, students not only acquire essential knowledge, but also develop critical thinking skills necessary to make informed decisions, promoting sustainability and innovation in their construction projects. You can learn more about SEGA project here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. Is there somebody from the audience who would like to start with some questions to our speaker or speakers? All right, I will start. I have some questions in my mind. I would like to ask you, obviously this is a very impressive project, and it's obvious you have made a lot of effort and a lot of work in order to cultivate 21st century skills to the kindergarten students. Do you have any plans in actually quantitate the results and the efficiency of these interventions to measure how much more you achieve, like in problem-solving capabilities, in critical thinking, in communication, but via these activities, and whether these activities can be better, whether the efficiency, how to actually quantitatively measure, because you mentioned results, but how that critical thinking is cultivated, communication skills, how much more relative to before? Are you planning to do some measurements and quantitatively assess those?
It's not easy to measure soft skills, but this is what we try to do. We try to notice the difference during the semester, because firstly, we guided children what they should do, or a lot of times, if we notice that the children couldn't discuss to each other, we stopped the exercise and we tried to cultivate this skill remotely. So a measure is they take the initiative to do something without our guidance. This is a way to measure the improvement of these skills.
Do you have some idea on which of these activities are more successful relative to others? All of them are there specific activities from the ones that you presented that were less successful than others or easier to implement than others?
Okay. I don't think that there's a successful or not activity because each child and each team of children are different. So there's a lot of times that we have to differentiate the activity according to the needs of our children, or sometimes they need more time in that activity. So there's a difference in the time we spend each class, each team. We spend different time for that activity until we see that children are ready to succeed that.
Okay. Thanks a lot and keep up the good work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One more question, Denise, for Foteini. Just thank you for the presentation and excellent Erasmus program. And just to know for the audience that your school is a private school in Greece. Okay, it's Anatolia. So this kind of activities sometimes don't happen, don't take place in all schools in Greece, unfortunately. But I saw that activity with electricity, and I would like to know about if you look at the misconception of the children, because in science education, always we have in mind that there are lots of alternative conceptions or misconceptions about the phenomenon that we are going to study. So it's very important also for the project, and when you introduce activities like this one with electric circuit, to have a look up what the children have in mind before the activity. So that's my question. If you have studied this misconception of the young children about the electricity in your project, or if you plan to do it in the future, I don't know. And thank you for the presentation.
Thank you too. Of course, we have studied misconception. I think every time every teacher has to, in any lesson, has to study the misconception. And it's too young in kindergarten, so many of them didn't know that a lot of appliances needed electricity. That was a problem for us because if students are older, you can say things on based on what they first told you. But here they didn't even know what is electricity. So what we did was to expose them to a lot of different rooms and let them notice things. So this was something that took us a lot of time to notice appliances, to notice the rooms, and give them the time to understand alone how they work. And then we use the simulation without telling them anything. We just tell them, play with the simulation. And what are we going to do? Just drag things in the simulation. And it took 3 hours to understand that if you connect all of them, it may, the bulb may light. So the first who did that communicated with the other team and told them what he succeeded and how. And then we started talking to them with simple words. That's what we did. We gave them the space to understand on their own how it works.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
And the interesting...
It was like a Fed Colorado simulation. I think it was like a Fed Colorado. Yeah. Okay.
And then the interesting is we didn't explain them. We didn't explain to them what's going on, but we asked them to draw what they understood. And they did exactly what the simulation illustrated. That was very interesting.
Mhm.
Of course, now we are studying bibliography to understand because it's not easy, it's not often to apply this in kindergarten. So we try to understand if it's effective.
Okay, thank you. Give greetings to Professor Farenos Bratitis
Sure.
from. You have a very strong team, actually. Thank you, Foteini, and continue the good job. So the next presentation is Lina Schulze-Buxloch.